Hi Amy, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Let's talk about your lesson for last lesson. What did we carry out last lesson? What do you do?
We did cockpit drill
Okay.
and a little bit of moving up and stopping and one left turn.
Okay, so how did the moving up and stopping went?
Okay, I think.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay, that's fine. So what routine did we use to move off and stop then?
MSPSL.
Okay, the MSPSL we used, well done. What else, what other routine did we use then? For moving off?
The full checks from left to right.
Okay.
Because we pulled up on the...
Well done on that. That's right, well done on that. So before we checked,
Yeah.
what do you have to do then?
Cockpit drill.
After the cockpit drill, what do you have to do?
Start the car.
Start the car, well done. So think about moving off again, right? You just said we have to look around, which is really, really good. Well done on that. But before we look around, what do you have to do with the car? Do we need to prepare the car?
Yeah.
What's the routine called then? It's not MSPS routine, that's for the left hand.
MSM.
MSM for pulling up on the left hand side. Well done on that again. What about, do you remember the POM routine?
Yes.
Yes. So what does POM stand for?
Position.
Position can be, but think about it a bit more. I mean, will it be the position first, or do you have to do something else with the car, with the P? Prepare. Okay, good girl. So how would you prepare the car then for moving off?
Getting it into first gear.
Good.
Making sure that all your mirrors are in the right place.
Good. Okay. So that's part of it, but the preparation is more likely, I'm going to explain that to you now, is that for the POM routine we use P for preparation, touchdown, first gear, set the gas, find it right. That's the preparation bit. Okay. Okay, so we do the preparation, then you talked about the observation, like you know observation. Where do you have to start your observation from?
If you pulled up on the left-hand side, from the left to the right.
Right, to move off.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the final check do you have to do before you move off?
Your blind spot on your route.
Why is it important for?
To make sure that there's nothing coming behind you.
Okay. And do you need to signal all the time to move out?
Only if there's someone there that you need to notify of your action.
And if there's no one, then do we need to signal?
No.
No. Well done on that. So do you want to look at today's like moving up on stop again, or we did talk about last lesson was I briefed you on the left turning from major to minor turn. Do you want to still talk about that, or do you want to go and have a look at this moving up and stopping again?
Do a little bit of the moving up and stopping.
Okay. Just make improve. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure that I'm kind of comfortable with it, and then a little bit of left turning as well.
Okay.
If we have time.
That's fine. Hopefully we should have a bit of time because this road is quite quiet, so we could move off and stop first of all, and then we could carry out the left turning as well. Let's talk about this left turning again. So last week we talked about from major to a minor, so we're turning on. So can you still remember the routine that to turn left?
MSPSL.
Good, that's MSPSL, so we did that. Okay. So just talk me through. So imagine you're driving now, we're turning left. So what's the first thing you have to do?
Check your mirrors.
Which two mirrors do you have to check?
If you're turning left, centre left.
Why do you have to check the centre first for?
To make sure if there's anything behind you and that it's safe to perform the manoeuvre.
Good. And why do you check the left mirror? What are you looking for in this mirror?
Anything that's close by to the car, so any pedestrians or cyclists or anything like that.
Good. What's the next thing you have to do then? How many other drivers or people or surrounding that you're turning left?
Signal.
Good. So with the signal, I mean, how far away do you have to signal from a junction, do you think, when turning? How many
between 6 and 7 car lengths.
Okay, well done on that. Why do you have to do 6 and 7 car length work for?
To give enough time for the drivers behind you to allow you to know what you're doing, so they can make what's the word I'm looking for? Decent actions to make sure that you're safe to do what you're doing.
Good. Well done on that. What's the next thing you have to do? So we got the mirrors, we got the signal. Position, okay. So for a left turning, how do you have to position yourself?
You stay kind of in the centre of your lane.
Kind of, how would you know you stayed in the centre of your lane?
By looking at the bonnet and your what's the word?
Reference point.
Reference
is all you're looking
point.
for.
Yeah.
Okay. And why is it important to maintain that position for a left turning?
because there might be something on your left side, so you don't want to be going over to the side, but also because you don't want other drivers overtaking you.
Good. So, I mean, say if you're turning left at your position, just asking, if you go slightly to the left as you're turning, what could happen?
Hit the curb.
You hit the curb. Okay. So what some people do is that they start moving to the left a little.
Yeah.
Well, then they end up hitting the curb. So best to maintain your normal driving position. Well done. So mirror signal position. What's the next thing you have to do then?
Speed.
Speed. Okay. And speed. What do you have to do? The speed then?
Reduce it.
Reduce it. Okay. So once you do it, so imagine you're in a high gear. Which gear do you have to drop it down to once you have reduced the speed?
So if you're in gear 2, you drop it down to gear 1.
Okay, do you need to drop it down to number 1 to turn left always? Or?
Not all the time.
Okay, so imagine you're in a high gear, say if you're in a 3rd or 4th gear as you're dropping the speed down. Now you're in a high gear, which gear do you have to drop it down if it's quite clear to turn? 2. Okay, once you drop the gears, you put the clutch down, obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you have to do with the clutch? Do you keep it down or bring it up?